what I love about the process of making this film is oftentimes you have the source material and you go, okay, read it once and then junk it, you know, because the book is the book and the film is the film. But in this case, you know, from the cast, the department heads, the producers, everybody, I think we had the same shared love for Baldwin, that we used the source material as this bedrock. And so Mark Freeberg, our production designer, was reading the same thing. When they come through the door, they look and feel a certain way. Costume designer, they look and feel a certain way. James, they look and feel a certain way. And what happens is you have this thing where all these elements, as I said earlier, these little pieces are working in concert. And so Dr. Ken, our hair person, he and Carolyn Esslin, our costume designer, they just work so well together because there's something that has to happen. The way the movie's non-linear, it's jumping around in time, it's very lyrical, that when someone presents themselves, you know, you need to, when you see them, get so much about their personage, so much about their character. And I think in this film, much more so than Moonlight, I would say, the clothing really helps inform the characters. When I'm writing a script, it's a bit odd, but I very rarely see an actor as the character. It just doesn't work that way for me. So I'm always hoping that an actor will appear or walk in the door and show me who the character is. You know, on Moonlight, Trevante Rhodes came in, and I never expected the main character in that film to look that way, you know, to be that muscular. And in this process, you know, Tish is written with such specificity, her voice at least, that I felt like I would know it when I saw it. And KiKi's tape came in, and there was just something about this sort of combination of strength and vulnerability, of wiseness, and also naivete, that I thought reflected the character I read on the page. And so right away I said, we need another tape from this woman. And Stephan James was the same way. Stephan, I'd seen in Selma in Race as Jesse Owens, but I didn't see him as Fonny initially. And then the tape came in. I was like, oh, there's something there. And then I asked them, you know, with direction, can you send in another tape? And the more I saw of them, the more I saw that they were the characters. KiKi and Stephan had instant chemistry when we put them together. You know, I didn't do chemistry reads on Moonlight for a very particular reason. With this film, the love is so potent, so pure, so lush, I would say, that the chemistry was a really big factor in the casting. So we flew both KiKi and Stephan out to New York, and I actually played a trick on them, but you know, we had them do two scenes. One was a very lush romantic scene that would require chemistry. However, before that, we had them do the most combative prison visit scene, where, because I think most relationships are, you know, there are moments of extreme joy, and then there are moments where you just butt heads. And I wanted to see that they could do both, because to me that would yield what I felt like was a well-rounded, would yield just an authentic depiction of a relationship, no matter how young the love is. Regina King is this actress who I've known since I was a kid, you know, since she was on 227. You know, she is, if you're thinking of someone who is the quintessential sort of like black matriarch, you know, of the present day, Regina King just pops into mind. You know, I love this woman. I don't know her, and I love this woman. That was my thought before casting Regina King. And then you realize, oh, and she's also just a fierce performer. And so the character that she plays, Sharon, is at the center of all this madness. You know, she's trying to protect the love of Tish and Fonny. She's trying to protect her daughter. She's trying to protect the child that her daughter is trying to bring to term. She's also trying to salvage whatever connective tissue there is between these two families. And what I love about Regina is she can do all that while also showing the audience, oh, and this woman also has to protect herself. And so Regina just has the ability to showcase all these layers. She's so strong for the characters around her. And then when she has these moments of quiet to herself, you see the vulnerability. You see the effects of carrying all this weight. And, you know, when we cast her, I felt like this is such a blessing because I knew she would crush it. Colman Domingo is the father I wish I'd had. You know, I can say that because I didn't really have a dad growing up. But Colman was amazing to work with. I knew him from The Walking Dead, of all things. He was also in Selma in a small part. His reputation, though, preceded him. I knew he was just a great guy. And the story I love about Colman is, again, I mean, he's on this huge show and such a well-revered actor, and the part that he plays in the film, Joseph, is not the part he auditioned for. He auditioned for a much smaller part, but I just saw something in him that, again, the tape came in. I was like, oh, this guy is the dad that I wish I had. This guy is the dad that I think Tish deserves. And in another way, I'm building this family. This guy is the guy that I think Sharon, as played by Regina King, would marry and fall in love with and be devoted to.